Hello, friends and neighbors. Swaggy Man Piper 1926 here on a Monday evening. I was trying to think of a word to throw in on that, but Monday evening. You know. It is what it is. Smoking my Peterson Dairy Rusticated 68. And in it is the last little bit of 4-horse green. I've nursed that tin since I got it. It's not because it's bad, since I don't have to go out and buy another tin. And it's one of those that I can go and smoke and, a couple bowls of, and then I'll put it up and not get in it for, I don't know, a week or so, and then go back and smoke another bowl or two in a few days time, or in the same day, and then it's put back up again. So, yeah. I finished Captain Black Platinum today. Smoked my last bowl of it this morning, and I've come to the conclusion it's an okay tobacco. Don't mind it, just don't particularly care for it. And all that means is I just won't buy another pack, or at least not anytime soon. Didn't strike my fancy. Sounded good. Everything Paladin said on his review. As far as codger blends go, which that isn't exactly codger blend, I guess you'd say it's the newer version of codger 2.0 maybe. The way he talked, it sounded good. So I thought, try me a pouch, and well, to each his own. It just didn't strike me. It just didn't hit me as good as it hit old Pat. So I will give her a little while, and maybe a month or two down the road, maybe get another pouch, try it out. Because you never know. So how is everybody's Monday and weekend and everything? Hopefully you all have had at least a bearable Monday. Mine was a typical work Monday, so, But, the last part of last week, now that was a treat. My pastor had a death in the family. So him and his wife and baby girl went up north to for the funeral. The two older girls got to pick a friend to stay with, and the younger two came to stay at my house. was a treat, let me tell you. If you have not had a 10-year-old try to mother you, you're missing out. The oldest of the two is in my wife's 4th grade class. And then the youngest school age boy he's I think two grades. Yeah, well, Russell's in 1st and the other one's in 3rd, so I guess you'd call that 2 grades ahead. And that little one there, the little girl, she tried to mother both of them, particularly her little brother, which is somewhat comical. And she also came to me and asked me if she could hold a chicken. I told her, I said, well, hon, I don't care. I said, we'll imagine, we can make that happen if that's what you want. Yeah. On Saturday, we were going out of town to go visit my wife's relation. And it was already pre-planned, and she cleared it with her, well, technically it's a stepmother, but there's a lot in there, so it's not. But it's still kind of like family. So, but I asked, I said, do you mind if we bring 2 more kids? She is a sweet woman. So she said, I don't care one bit, you just bring them on. So that morning, the boys were sent outside to gather eggs, or to check to see if we had any eggs. I had put a screw down so no creature could get out there and raise up the lid or anything, because we've had something trying to chew in there, and I believe I've got it where it's nothing can. But they couldn't open that, which rightfully so, and they opened the big door. Well, I hadn't been letting them out because of said creatures getting our chickens. So that morning, I was trying to put them back in the coop before we left, and which was to no avail. But in trying to, the young lady was out there with me, and she is a petite girl. And by petite, I mean her daddy, her mommy and daddy are not big people, I mean, not even, her mommy is a little broad, but not that broad. So, they have small children, small bone type children, which basically is a nice way of saying they're tiny, and my son is going to be a small mountain, and I'm pretty sure he's bigger than both of them. Like, I'm expecting my boy to be well over 6 foot, is broader than I am a mountain. He's going to be a small mountain by the time he quits growing or eating, whatever comes first. Anyway, well, most of you folks, I'm pretty sure I've told you all about Red, my rooster. He's a decently sized rooster. Well, decently sized to typical, you know, what you see out on the farm. Good rooster. Takes care of his hens. So apparently when you're tan and petite, very intimidating. So I had said, stand still. All you're doing is just kind of blocking them. You don't have to wave your hands. You don't have to do nothing. They're not going to run towards you. But she was holding a cup or a scoop of grain, so I was trying to coax them so I could get a hold of it. She kept on inching closer, and inching closer, and the red got in between me and the hens. And by that time, that little girl was just about on top of me. I mean, she was, I don't know if she was trying to climb up on me or what, but I mean, she was on me without like hanging on me. Bless her heart. And she's normally kind of a, you know, I'll do it, I don't care kind of an attitude. Not snotty, but you know, you need help, I'll help, you know, that kind of thing. Whatever you need, kind of. So, okay. Nope. A few good passing glance of old Red, and she began to have a yellow streak climb up her backside. But, you know, that's okay. Ain't no worries. I'm just tickled she stood out there. Or at least she listened to me and just didn't panic and run off. Because before everything was said and done, she looked at me a couple times and said, "Can I go inside?" Which I told her no, because she was trying to, I was needing her out there to help. But couldn't get the chickens, couldn't catch them all, so I just let what I caught out. So I could leave a door open in case I needed to jump in there. And we went up north, which, you know, hour and a half, couple hours drive, no big deal. And got there and had a good time. Kids got out and ran around in the field. But her husband now, the lady that we went to see, her husband now, is a avid fisherman, and he had to bring a couple of poles, and he had some extra poles, and we went to a little pond and went fishing. My son, and let me go ahead and say this, in trying to fish with my son, now this is me and my son, another grown man, and two other children. The two other children was kind of going back and forth. You know, they'd know to kind of stand, watch your bobber and everything, and they didn't catch anything, but you know, we tried. I now realize why my dad would go fishing by himself. Just so he could fish. And have a little peace and quiet. Because my son would try, well, it took my bait again, he'd reel it in. Because he couldn't, I don't know, he can't stand still. And I can't let this stuff stay wet because I talk too much. But Dad, hey Dad, I did fish a little bit. What I'm trying to get at is, I finally was aggravated with him. I said, son, just stand still. Just stand still. Watch your bobber and stand still. And I had said that a few times and started to get a little aggravated. He finally said, Dad? Hey, Dad? I said, what, son? What? He said, I think I've got a fish. I said, what do you mean you think you got a fish? Where's your bobber? I turn around and look. The bobber ain't there. And then the reel on the rod that he's holding starts spinning. I said, son, I think you got a fish. Oh, he had him a fish, all right. Pretty good size one, too. He was trying to reel it, and the line was still spinning. The thing was still spinning. I finally grabbed hold of the line, and it was a pretty powerful tug on the other end. So I, kind of got behind him, and we cranked it in together, and tried to work that sucker in. Get him up on the bank. It was probably about an 8-pound catfish, my son got. Good size. I'm not sure if that was a blue cat or what it is. Pretty good size. And at that small moment, I thought, pay a little more attention to your son next time, instead of trying to fish yourself. But, shut did. Oh my goodness. So we had a good time. Took the preacher's kids home. And after everything, I'd almost say I might miss those little snots. And I tell you what, the house is nice and quiet now. Well, folks, it's on. I'm knocking on 18 minutes. Y'all take care of yourself out there, and remember, kindness costs us nothing.